Hello, my name is Jeff Hughes, and I lead the audit, quality, and risk functions for Grant Thornton in the U.S. I'm responsible for the implementation and continued assessment of our system of quality management under ISQM 1. So, like you, I'm very much an interested party in the solution we're going to show you. When we began this journey of implementing ISQM 1, we determined pretty quickly we needed a software solution. So we built one internally. And that software application worked really well for us. Then we started getting some questions from our member firms around Grant Thornton, as well as other firms, about what we were using. So we turned our app into a commercial solution that others could easily use. And that's how we created qm.x. qm.x was actually forked off another solution we built called soc.x. And the reason that's important is we were able to leverage proven capabilities and security. So during the demo, you're going to see some of the rich features and capabilities, but just a few things for you to think about as we do that. qm.x was built to be scalable. That is, it can be used by any size firm, regardless of the level of complexity. It's not a matter of having to tailor the application. Rather, it's built for use by a firm based on what the firm does, because it was built by accountants for accountants. So it's ready to be able to capture and continually assess the firm's system of quality management. We built it to comply with the standards, but so that it could be as easy as possible to operate. It can be used to comply with any of the standards. So, if you need it for ISQM 1 and eventually the AICPA and PCAOB standards, or even any localized standards, you can do that all at the same time. It can be localized for any language requirements, and it's available on the Azure Marketplace, which makes it easily accessible. So the key here, I think, is it's made by accountants for accountants and scalable regardless of size and complexity. So let's take a look at the app.
Let's begin our qm.x demo by covering several items in the System of Quality Management, or SOQM. First is the hierarchy view. This view shows how the System of Quality Management is structured within the application. This is within the Overview section on the hierarchy view. This hierarchy view was built so that users of the application would have a visual representation of their system of quality management and could easily see the items and relationships within. Within a system of quality management, there are a lot of items and relationships, including one-to-many, many-to-many, and cross-component relationships. While hard to visualize in an Excel spreadsheet, are simple to understand using the hierarchy view. At the top level of the hierarchy are the components of the System of Quality Management. These components can be customized by the user. Drilling down into the components, you see component activities, objectives, requirements, and findings. A component activity is a way that qm.x can break a component down into more manageable business processes or functions that exist within the System of Quality Management. For example, there is a separate component activity for independence versus complaints and allegations. From here, let's drill into a component activity and view the risk, response, and test through the hierarchy tree within. While a risk may sit in a component activity, there is also an important relationship between risks and objectives, given these are the risks that may have been identified to meeting the principles-based quality objectives that exist in ISQM 1 or other quality management standards. The risk, response, and test tree can also be viewed through the lens of an objective. A risk can be related to multiple objectives in the application, including across components. A risk relating to multiple objectives will show in the hierarchy in every relevant objective. However, there is only one underlying risk item in the system. In qm.x, users can create a requirement for any prescriptive, non-objective-based requirement from ISQM1 or any other quality management standard. These requirements would not have the risk assessment process applied to them, but may have a response in place to satisfy the requirement. In this example, you see included a requirement from ISQM1 to implement a specified response and have linked the actual specified response identified to the requirement. Findings within the system of quality management are organized by component. In each finding, relationships to tests, objectives, risks, and responses can also be established. This will be covered shortly. In this hierarchy view, every item is linked to its underlying item detail page. When users capture information relating to item attributes, relationships, and ownership, it is displayed on the item detail page. As the application was designed, displaying relationships in the system of quality management was a top priority. The second item in the SOQM we will cover is Item Search and Create New Items. Continuing with items in the system of quality management, the Items section includes an Item Search. This Item Search has several filtering options for searching and loading specific items users may be looking for. This page is also where new items in the system of quality management can be created using Create New Item. Later in the demo, you will see the import template process, where items can be bulk loaded into the application from Excel. But for now, let's look at how to create items in the application itself. Each item created from this page has its own template where information about the item attributes, owners, and relationships can be completed. We've considered the unique attributes that are relevant to capture as part of establishing and maintaining a system of quality management. In the first example of this, when creating an objective or requirement, you can link that objective or requirement to one or multiple quality management standards or other frameworks. As shown later in the demo, this list can be configured and customized by a system administrator within the Admin section. Users can also create test plans. These test plans, which can also be set up using the Import Template process, can be used to document information about the test in advance, such as its due date. The third item in the SOQM we will cover is tests. Once a test plan is created, the test item is ready for the tester to document the work. The test item tracks information that can facilitate project management. Because testing work can vary, we've kept the application flexible in this regard and have included a place to upload underlying testing documentation. Conclusions for design and operating effectiveness are selected in the test item, as well as any additional information related to the testing work. The final item in the SOQM we will cover in this demo is Findings. A finding can be created in two places, derived from testing work, as shown here, or within a component item detail page. The first step in creating a finding is to document information related to the finding, such as the name, description, owners, and reviews and statuses. From there, the application will prompt users to perform an evaluation of the finding. After the evaluation, the finding has three paths in the application. If the finding is evaluated as a finding only, the finding can move through the review statuses in the application or can be remediated. If the finding rises to the level of a deficiency, the root cause analysis and remediation work would be documented in the deficiency and remediation sections, respectively. Next, let's walk through the areas in the application for reporting. beginning with Status View. Back in the Overview section is a Status View, which is a visual, high-level overview of each component and the items contained in that component within the system of quality management. The filter selected will drive the primary view, but each component can be toggled into. To see all visuals, these status visuals indicate the risk assessments, response types, status of testing, and status of findings and deficiencies within each component. The next area of reporting we will look at is My Items. The My Items view is a reporting view that is tailored in two ways. First, the view is tailored just to the items the user owns and corresponding relationships within the system of quality management. Each visualization within the My Items view is also different, as the key attributes and relationships will change depending on the selected item type. Let's look at an example with objectives. On the My Objectives view, the objective level detail displayed are the cumulative risk assessments and response types for the risks and responses that relate to all the objectives the user owns. In addition, for each objective you own within the system of quality management, the risks to achieving that objective are displayed, and so are the responses that are in place to respond to those risks, along with status bars for the risk assessments and response types. The third area of reporting we are going to demo is reports. qm.x comes with 7 reports, representing the day-to-day information users will want to monitor within their system of quality management. These reports represent all areas of the system of quality management, including risks, responses, tests, objectives, requirements, and findings and deficiencies. Let's look at an example with the Findings and Deficiencies report. Each report in qm.x includes robust filtering options, like multi-select and select all, and the ability to filter by components, component activities, objectives, and standards where applicable. Each report also includes various summary cards and visuals and a data table displaying the key information. Each report is also exportable to Excel. Now let's pivot to evaluations in the qm.x application. The Evaluations feature was created to address the ISQM1 requirement to elevate the system of quality management at least annually. Each evaluation resides within an evaluation period, and users can create as many evaluations within an evaluation period as needed. Creating an evaluation period will be covered shortly. For each evaluation, a flow of accountability is created. First, the component owners perform their evaluations by selecting the appropriate statements within the page. Displayed on the screen, there are a number of findings and deficiencies. These are populated automatically by qm.x, and, if needed, users can navigate directly to that finding or deficiency to review the details. Once all components have been evaluated, the evaluation automatically becomes available to the person or persons assigned operational responsibility for the system of quality management. Similar to the component owner's evaluation, the person assigned operational responsibility will select the appropriate statements for the evaluation period. The evaluation then moves on to the person with the ultimate responsibility for the system of quality management, who similarly selects the appropriate statements. Next, let's take a look at qm.x project management functionality, beginning with commenting. There are 2 major features within qm.x that were designed with project management in mind. The first is the commenting feature. A comment can be added to any item in the system of quality management. Comment threads can be started, replied to, and resolved. Comments can be deleted when no longer needed. New comments can be posted that include functionality, such as @ mentioning individuals. The Comments dashboard then makes it easy to see the comments that exist within the system of quality management. There are options to filter by item type as well as specific comments, including ones the user created or is mentioned in. The second major feature designed with project management in mind is notifications. qm.x tracks every event that happens within the application and provides a full audit trail. We will see that shortly. Of those events, qm.x has over 25 events that trigger notifications to the users involved. Examples of these events include item updates, ownership changes, user role changes, and administrative items. For ease of navigation, notifications can be filtered by type. Notifications can also be marked as read and deleted when no longer needed. Users will also receive a daily digest of their notifications in their email when there are new notifications for them to view in qm.x. This will prompt users to log into the application. Notifications are also available within the bell icon. The last area of focus in this demo is the admin functionality, beginning with the audit log. As mentioned previously, qm.x tracks every event that happens within the application and provides this full audit trail in the audit log section of the admin panel. Detailed information about each event can be toggled into, and all information is exportable to Excel. Next, let's look at default configuration within the admin functionality. There are two features that users can configure when they are setting up the application. One is the list of standards users are associating their objectives and requirements with. Standards can be added over time as new ones become applicable. The second is a full customization of risk assessment. Here, users can set anywhere from 3 to 9 levels of risk and name each risk however they wish. Additionally, users have the option to separately document their assessment about the possibility of the risk occurring and the significance of its effect within the application. These values are also customizable from 3 to 9 levels. Within the application, users can map each possibility and significance value to the overall risk level. Now, we are moving to exports within the admin. qm.x allows users to easily export data out of the system of quality management as needed. Data table exports to Excel are provided for each item type, and there are maintenance-like queries that can help identify gaps in the system of quality management. For example, risks without responses. Let's take a look at admin import functionality. qm.x has an import template process where items can be imported into the system using our import template in Excel. The import template is straightforward, easy to use, and easy to customize by transferring existing documentation into our template. On each tab in the template, attributes and relationships about each are documented. All the relationship mapping in the system of quality management can be done in this template. For example, if there is a risk that relates to multiple objectives, the user can list out each of those objectives with that risk, and all relationships will be set up in the application on import. Users can also set up all test plans within the import template. The import template works incrementally, so users can import items into the system of quality management over time. The application will also provide validation to ensure the template imported into the application is of high data quality. Our next focus within admin is periods. The Periods tab within the admin function is used to create the period for which users will perform the evaluation of the system of quality management. Once created, an evaluation period may be edited, or if created in error, deleted. To preserve a record of the system of quality management for each period, there is the ability to lock the evaluation period. Once locked, changes cannot be made to any of the items within that evaluation period. Users will not need to recreate all items in the system of quality management each evaluation period. They can roll forward certain items into the next evaluation period, such as the quality objectives, risks, and responses. Admin user roles are the final feature in this demo. qm.x comes with 6 user roles. Many of these should feel familiar, such as a system administrator, global edit access, or global read access. The report reader role can access just the reporting tab of the application, but not any of the underlying detail in the system of quality management. Also, the item owner role can edit the items they own, but no other items within the application. Finally, there is an application administrator who can set theme options within the application. The administrator can add the firm's logo and include some customized colors. This easy-to-use and intuitive application will help you implement and maintain your system of quality management, no matter how big or how small your firm is. qm.x captures and visually displays the relationships between items within your system and provides an intuitive workflow from testing responses through to remediation of deficiencies when necessary. The commenting, notification, and reporting functions facilitate easy management of items within the system, and the cascading evaluations promote accountability for quality throughout your firm. If you are interested in a personalized demonstration or just want to know more about qm.x, please contact us via our qm.x dedicated webpage.